Yeah, I like that you mentioned that, because that was one of the quotes I actually picked out from the book, that most of our organs prefer to burn fat for fuel, but that's particularly true of our heart. Um, so what damages the mitochondria? You did mention oxidative stress
Mhm.
and inflammation.
Yeah.
And
So,
so let's elaborate those, and what else damages the mitochondria?
yeah. So, um, we can get a state where we have too much oxidative stress, too many free radicals around, and that can happen. I mean, there's evidence that shows that that can be contributed to by having a processed food glucose burning metabolism, where you're burning too much glucose for fuel rather than fatty acids and ketones. Um, it could also be a state where um, there's a lot of inflammation and oxidative stress from external things, from psychological stress or from toxin exposure, everything from plastics to heavy metals to, whatever, all these man-made chemicals that are out there can all act like inflammatory things that damage mitochondria and other tissues in the body. But a big thing with mitochondria and in creating their efficiency is maintaining what's called structured water in your body, because structured water it's a form of water that's not quite solid, not quite liquid. It's kind of a gel state. And most of the water in our body is in this state. So all the water in your cells, and even some of the water in the blood is this. And but maintaining that gel-like state of water, which is that's why the ATP are so important, because they're unfolding proteins so that structured water can form on the lining of the proteins. That's why ATP is so critically important. Even though it's not like this energy currency driving cellular processes, but it does help maintain proper function of the cell because it unfolds the proteins, providing structured water to form on that. And so that's very important for the mitochondria, because this fourth phase water is actually it's the right environment for the mitochondria to function in, because if there's not fourth phase water there, then what can happen is if it becomes more liquid water, the fourth phase water is actually less, it's actually more dense, so it's more compact, right? And so then, if it becomes liquid water, it becomes more expansive, and so that stretches out what's called the electron transport chain.
Mhm.
And if that stretches out too much, then the electrons can't get transported very well. They're supposed to jump down this electron transport chain, right? And so if it gets stretched out too much, it's kind of like the Super Mario video game. If I tried to jump and I didn't make it, they'd fall, right? And so that those electrons can't jump and make that transition. And so then all the end products of the mitochondria don't happen, right? So we don't get the water production, we don't get the CO2, we don't get the free radical, we don't get the ATP, right? We don't get the heat. And so it's that lost energy, that lost electrons, that create excess energy that make us gain weight. Whereas if we make that more compact, we structure the water, then the electron transport chain works perfectly fine. So how do we structure water, right? The main way is infrared light.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to get infrared light on your body. So you want healthy mitochondria. It's all about light. So infrared light builds structured water the most, and blue light gets a bad rap because there's lots of artificial blue light in our environment today. But blue light is healthy for us if it comes in the context with all the other wavelengths and color temperatures of light. The problem is that on our screens and our phones and everything, it's just blue light. And so we're just getting blue light all the time, and we're getting it at the wrong times. And so that can really zap your mitochondria. That can really interfere with the water. Like I said, a proper metabolism and burning more efficient fuel sources like fatty acids and ketones will help make that structured water, help your mitochondria create that structured water, which helps in turn keep the mitochondria themselves healthy. The wrong types of electromagnetic fields can influence structured water. So Wi-Fi and cell phone, like radiation, stuff like that, we have to be conscious of that. And then also, different toxins like glyphosate, which is, the herbicide Roundup, has actually been shown to break down fourth phase water. So lots of different things, but what we want to do to structure the water, cold exposure, get plenty of sunlight, put your feet directly on the earth, burn the right types of fatty acids. You know, DHA, which is only found in animal foods, is very important for that. So those types of things, that's what keeps your mitochondria healthy.
Amazing.